Hi, welcome once again to Hebrew for You, where we look into the Hebrew and try to discover some words as they appear in the Bible that help us understand just a little bit more of the meaning and how they apply to our life each and every day. The word for today is Talmid. Talmid. It means disciple. When I first became a follower of Jesus, I was fortunate. I was told that I had to become a disciple. I understood that being a disciple from a very early age was like being a student. I needed to study the life of Jesus and learn as much as I could about him. And so I did. Even as a kid, I learned the discipline of reading my Bible, learning to read about Jesus, studying. As I grew older, I read more and more books. My prayer life exponentially expanded. I listened to preachers preach and even attended discipleship training back in the day so I could be a better disciple of Jesus. Years later, I learned that in Jesus' time, a disciple was called Talmid, which can refer to a student, but more accurately refers to what we might say today as an apprentice. You see, while a student learns head knowledge in order to know what the teacher knows, an apprentice works with that teacher to learn what the teacher knows, but to do what the teacher does, as he and she try to imitate that teacher. In other words, that teacher becomes a model. And so part of this idea of this being a disciple means that you have taken that model of your teacher and you are molding yourself and becoming like that teacher. Often in Old Testament times, if a disciple began to follow a teacher, they would leave their family. They might even leave their homes. They would go and watch how that rabbi might live. They would follow that rabbi and maybe live where that rabbi lived and do the things the rabbi would do. The question for you today is this: are you a disciple or a student of Jesus? Are you doing what he did? Or do you just know a lot about Jesus? Do you love your neighbors and your enemies? Do you forgive those that hurt you? Do you pray for the people who have wronged you or who are still wronging you? Do you welcome those people that the world rejects and condemns? Are you doing what it takes to be a Talmid today? See, because if you're going to be a disciple of Jesus, you have to start doing the things that Jesus would do as he walked on planet Earth, because you're the outpost of the kingdom of God. This Hebrew word has a huge implication for us, because when we begin to understand the significance of it, we begin to understand that we become, as a disciple, a smaller version of our original teacher. As our first teacher becomes our focus, we strive to become more like him. It's an important word. Be a disciple of Jesus. Don't just be a researcher about Jesus. Don't just be a fan of Jesus. Be a disciple of Jesus. And in doing so, that will change everything about your life, every relationship you have, and everything that you'll ever become. I guarantee it. Be a Talmid.